by Englishmen. On the other side are the Pilgrims, who escaped from the King James I, so they would be able to believe in their own religion.
These two different sides came together once in a time so long ago that only the rocks remember.
Our story begins with Plymouth Rock, a huge boulder surrounded by a forest.
A tribe lived there called Wampanoag, the people of the dawn.
We planted corn, beans, squash, and pumpkins. We hunted deer and turkey and fished the sea and the freshwater streams. Every year we gave thanks for these gifts to Mother Earth at the green corn dance, which lasted many days.
In the early 1600s, Englishmen visited our shores. These men sailed in ships with butterfly wings, killed with guns, and kidnapped Wampanoag men who were slaves.
We became afraid of the white men.
One spring morning, we Englishmen sailed into the cove and tricked 17 of the Wampanoag men into our ship. Then we sailed away.
I am Squanto. I was trapped on the ship and taken to New England.
We sold the men into slavery. Squanto was sold to an Englishman like me.
After many years of slavery, in 1619, I was able to return home to my village, but my return was not jubilant. My village was deserted. All of my people were dead from a European plague.
Squanto was full of relief. He finally joined another tribe nearby.
Back in England, King James demanded that everyone believe in the same religion or leave England. A group of people called the Puritans refused to obey.
We believed we had the right to worship whatever we believed in. We called ourselves pilgrims. We fled to New World America, which we believed to be full of savages.
The Mayflower was the only ship that would be able to cross the ocean.
On September 6, 1620, 102 men, women, and children and their herd, hens, pigs, dogs, and 9 cats crowded aboard the small ship. We were crowded below the deck, and we suffered from terrible sea sickness.
On December 11th, 1612, the Pilgrims
of the Mayflower landed at Plymouth Rock.
The Pilgrims finally had a home.
But when winter struck violently, the Pilgrims had to stop building their houses and live on the Mayflower. We huddled in blankets and layers of clothes.
We only had 5 kernels of Indian corn to eat today.
8 pilgrims died in January, 17 in February, and 13 in March.
When spring arrived, only 57 pilgrims and half the crew had survived. 17 were children. There were few of us left, but we worked hard to survive. We planted beans, wheat, and barley. We also scouted for Indians.
But the Pilgrims did not meet any savages.
Then one day, when the birds were trilling and the leaves were swelling, we were shocked to see a tall, handsome Indian come striding into Plymouth.
At first we were shocked, scared,
and then he raised his hand and said, "Welcome, Englishmen." He spoke English!
He was friendly and dignified. The next week, the Indian returned with Squanto and the leader of the tribe.
Squanto interpreted while the tribe leader
that the Pilgrims did not know how to survive in the New World. They could barely catch enough fish for their colony, so I taught them how to fish with nets, and I took them to the waters where cod and salmon were abundant.
Then in late May, when the oak leaves were as big as the sun, Squanto taught us to plant beans, corn, pumpkin, and squash, just like the Wampa Block had done.
Then he showed us the leaf nests of the squirrels, the hideouts of skunks and raccoons, and the turkey that dwelled in the open forests.
Squanto showed the Pilgrims how to survive in the New World.
He gave them the tools they needed to live in this different land.
Because of Squanto's help, the harvest of 1621 was bounteous. The most fulfilled dreams of the Pilgrims.
Corn, beans, pumpkins, wheat, and barley spilled from the baskets.
Larder's were stacked with dried venison, salmon, herring, cod, and duck.
Racks of wild berries lay dirty in the sun.
Chickens laid eggs abundantly, and the cats grew fat on field mice.
It was time to celebrate! The
Don't
terrible winter was done, the suffering was past. The new governor, William Bradford, asked Squanto to invite a few of his friends to a feast.
Bradford set out then to shoot turkeys and ducks.
Woman baked bread.
Loaves were set on barrels, covered with cloth, and placed in the middle of the only street in Plymouth.
Squanto's friends arrived on the day of the feast with 5 deer and many turkeys instead of a few friends.
He brought 90.
At first we were shocked.
Then
we went right back to work. We baked more bread, cooked more vegetables,
and stuffed more turkeys.
For 3 days, the Pilgrims and the Indians feasted, played games, and shot guns and arrows.
It was
Pure
pure
celebration!
celebration.
We
We didn't know when tradition
We
had
have
begun.
begun!
We
Called
called our celebration the harvest feast.
We called it a green corn dance.
Now it is called the first Thanksgiving.
In the years following, President George Washington decided to have the first National Thanksgiving Day.
And President Abraham Lincoln proclaimed the last Thursday in November as a holiday of Thanksgiving praise.
Today it is still a harvest festival and a green corn dance, and it is more than that.
Thanksgiving is a special day on which we take time to appreciate what we have, whether that is
Family,
friends,
Pets.
education,
Opportunity.